Ooh, today is going to be the most talented position arguably in all of baseball. I'm ranking every right fielder from every team in Major League Baseball from worst to best as a part of day 8 of the 12 days of MLB rankings. This is technically the last of the actual positions in the field. We have DH tomorrow, so if you've missed any of those, make sure you check out the playlist. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere in the description to that. On Christmas Day, I dropped my top 50 players in Major League Baseball, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that content, as well as the rest of the rankings too. And get in the comment section down below, let me know what you agree or disagree with on my rankings. All right, let's get going with these right field rankings. Getting right field started at number 32, I've got Griffin Conine, the projected right fielder for the Miami Marlins. Son of Jeff, Mr. Marlin himself, Griffin looks like he's been given the shot every day to play in Miami in right field. Last year, he did come up and play in 30 games for the Marlins, 3 homers, 4 doubles, a triple, and 12 RBIs, a 268 average, 451 slugging, 777 OPS for a 109 OPS plus. It's kind of hard to tell what kind of player Griffin Conine is moving into next season, so truthfully, I just have him towards the bottom because he's lesser known as a prospect on a lesser team. Not truly fair to the kid, but we've just not seen enough out of him yet for me to be able to rank him higher. Next up at number 31, I've got Sam Hilliard of the Colorado Rockies. We've seen Hilliard play before, and he's a pretty ridiculous athlete. He had a career high of 81 games back in 2021 with the Rockies, and he's shown the ability to hit for some pop. He is a stellar athlete, really good out in the outfield, and right now for this Rockies team that's lacking a lot of depth, it looks like he's going to be given the shot every day. Last year in 58 games, 10 homers, 5 doubles, a triple, and 27 RBIs with an 812 OPS for an OPS plus at 115. The thing is, just for his career, he's been a below average hitter. He's going to be 31 next season. I think there's a world where he could have a nice breakout year. I'm just going to wait to see it before I start moving him up these rankings. For the 30th best right fielder in today's video, Pittsburgh Pirates, Josh Palacios. Palacios, Brooklyn born, represent. Love to see that. That being said, it hasn't been great for Palacios. Only played in 23 games last year, so the slash line's a little bit all over the place. Is 677 OPS, OPS plus at 90. Truthfully, for his career, he's played about one MLB season, 12 homers, 13 doubles, 55 RBIs with a 650 OPS, sub 300 on base percentage. I think it's just the Pirates right now don't really have someone to play that position. Kind of surprised they cut Brian De La Cruz and are giving Palacios the shot instead. Let's head out to Kansas City to talk about Hunter Renfroe, who comes in at number 29 in today's video. Renfroe had a nightmare season last year. 2023 wasn't good. I think he's just probably not that same player we saw in Boston back in 2021 or even Milwaukee back in 2022. Just seems like something's missing. A second straight year of an on-base percentage below 300 is super concerning. The power numbers were not good, not where he once was as a 30 home run a year guy. The defense has taken a step back. The OPS was below 700. There just wasn't a lot of good stuff going on for Hunter Renfroe here. I give him the slight nod over these guys because he does have a longer track record and he's hit 30 home runs in a season before, but truthfully wouldn't be shocked if he's not the starting right fielder even by opening day for the Royals. Coming in at number 28, I've got Houston Astros projected outfielder Mauricio Dubon. I say outfielder because technically he's probably more so left field and McCormick's right, but I got them mixed up because technically when I recorded left field, Kyle Tucker was still on the Astros. That being said, Dubon in the outfield is going to find his way towards the bottom of this list. You're just not excited if he's your everyday player. He brings great value to a team because he can play literally every position it seems like in the field. First base, second base, shortstop, all the outfield positions, and he plays them fairly well. At the plate, he's not the strongest of players. Sub 300 batting average, not a ton of pop in his bat, and weirdly doesn't steal a lot of bases despite being a good athlete. So he's a more valuable player than he is truly as an everyday guy, and putting him in right field is a little bit rough because he's more of a left fielder, truthfully. So apologies to Mauricio, but that's where he finds himself in today's video. Next up at number 27, I've got Jake Fraley of the Cincinnati Reds. Fraley is an interesting player, a guy who I think is a nice piece to have if you have a very established lineup because he will get on base. He doesn't strike out a lot. Usually has a walk rate around 10% and a K rate under 20. Now, last year, those numbers were not nearly as good as they've been in the past, which is why I have him a little bit lower in this list. And similarly, I think the Reds are going to be looking for more help in right field. Don't be surprised if Will Benson gets some more playing time over him again. But last year, 5 homers, 19 doubles, 26 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases. Like, there is a good player inside of here. He's a decent outfielder as well, defensively. It's just at the plate, there isn't much ceiling right now with a guy like Fraley. That's why I got him at number 27. Just missing on the top 25 at number 26, I've got the Sockman, Mike Tauchman. I actually really like this move by the White Sox. Tauchman's been a very productive player, really ever since he got a lot of playing time with the Yankees back in 2019. He put up 2 straight seasons with the Cubs of 100-plus games, and OPS plus above 100, so he was a league average or slightly better than league average hitter. He gets on base. He's an on-base machine. The dude had a 360 on-base percentage last year. It's just that he's not really an everyday player. He's not a guy you feel comfortable getting 500, 600 plate appearances in a season, but as a fourth outfielder depth piece, he can help a winning ball club for sure. And for the White Sox, best case scenario, plays well, you trade him at the deadline, get some pieces in, restart the whole thing again. But I actually do like the move of Talkman, and I think the White Sox is a good spot for him. He'll play. Getting the top 25 started at number 25, Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals. Walker was one of the most disappointing players in baseball last year. I love this dude's profile as a player because he's a strong kid, good athlete, put up amazing numbers in the minors with great patience, great power, and then he got to the majors, and Ali Marmol and the Cardinals broke him because they stink. And I fully blame them. Like his rookie year, 2021, 276 average, 342 on base, 787 OPS. That's phenomenal. I know he's learning a relatively new position in the outfield. It feels like it's affecting him at the plate because last year he was terrible in 51 games, a 201 average, 253 on base, 619 OPS plus a 71. I really hope this isn't a lost cause because Jordan Walker was one of my favorite players out of the 2020 draft. I think he's a super talented player. Now it's just about putting all that talent together to get a good season because I feel like the Cardinals are really counting on him to bounce back. Heading out west, 24th right fielder in today's video, Joe Adele of the Los Angeles Angels. Adele at times has shown us some sparks where you're like, oh my God, there's that former top prospect. But still, at the end of the year, you look at the numbers and they're just underwhelming. But Adele hit 20 homers, 15 doubles, 15 stolen bases, 60 RBIs. A 402 slugging isn't the worst. Now, a 207 average with a sub 300 on base and a 682 OPS, that's not particularly great. Defensively, he was decent out there in the outfield. Interested to see what it looks like more in the corner for a full season. He's got great bat speed. If he could just make some contact with the ball, he would be awesome. And I will say, he cut down the K rate a lot. Only 28% last year from 40 in the previous year. So there could be something here with Joe Adele. He's going to get a shot. Feels like kind of the last one here with the Angels. For the 23rd right fielder in today's video, I've got Jhonkensy Noel, a.k.a. Big Christmas of the Cleveland Guardians. First off, that is the best nickname in all of sports. Big Christmas. That's so sick. And Jhonkensy, honestly, is kind of a sick player. The dude is built like a brick house, 6'3", 250 of pure muscle. And the dude hits nukes. Last year in 67 games, 13 homers, 7 doubles, 28 RBIs, a 218 average, 288 on base, don't love that, 486 slugging, 774 OPS for an OPS plus at 115. And you would think for a bigger guy, he'd be awful defensively. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. -2 OAA in those 60 games. The thing that concerns me about Jhonkensy and why I have him a little bit lower on this list, the discipline's just really bad. I mean, he had a whiff rate of nearly 35%, chasing like crazy, striking out a ton, not walking a bunch, but his barrel rates are crazy. So if he just puts the bat on the ball, special things will happen when Big Christmas makes contact. Okay, Phillies fans, here's more hate coming my way. At number 22, I've got Nick Castellanos. Castellanos is just simply not that good of a player anymore. Like, if you closed your eyes and you gave this slash line to somebody and didn't say the name Nick Castellanos attached to it, you would be like, oh, a very average right fielder. And then you add on to the fact that he's horrendous defensively. And Phillies fans, please miss me with the no errors nonsense. He had a -8 OAA last year. That was the 4th percentile. And a -6 arm value. That was the worst in baseball. He's just not good enough at the plate to outweigh the bad defense. Like 23 homers, 30 doubles, 86 RBIs. I get it. Counting number wise, great. But a 742 OPS for an OPS plus at 106, that just doesn't move the page like you think it does. He's a solid player, but truthfully, at the right field position, he's not a top 20 guy right now. Rant over. Just missing out on the top 20, at number 21, I've got George Springer of the Toronto Blue Jays. Feels like George Springer might just be old now, guys. Second straight season where we've seen a huge drop-off in production. He's actually played a lot the last few years, which is the craziest thing, because Springer couldn't stay healthy in his 20s, but he turns 33, 34, and he plays 150 games a year. It's just those 150 are not the same quality. Last year was an even bigger drop-off from a 102 OPS plus in 2023, where he had 19 homers, 19 doubles, 56 RBIs, stole 16 bases, but finished with a 220 average, 303 on base, 371 slugging, and an OPS at 674 for an OPS plus at 92, which is by far the worst of his entire career. I'm a little down on George Springer, age 35. I can't imagine there's going to be a huge turnaround where he returns to his old form. Even still, though, he's still a fine player. Getting the top 20 started. At number 20, I've got Dylan Cruz of the Washington Nationals. I am a huge Dylan Cruz fan. I think he will definitely be a cornerstone piece of this Washington Nationals franchise moving forward. And even though in the first 31 games of his career last year, it wasn't great at the plate, a lot of the stuff that I said about the previous guys, low on base percentage, not a lot of pop. He is a really great outfielder. He stole a bunch of bases, and he was only 22, hadn't played much of professional baseball, but this year, knowing coming into the season that position is his, I actually expect Cruz to be a big-time breakout candidate. He was so good at LSU. He's an all-around really good player, way too talented to be this kind of guy for his entire career, and truthfully, it was 31 games. He will be okay. For the 19th best right fielder in Major League Baseball, San Francisco Giants, Mike Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski feels super underrated. He's a guy who's a little bit slept on. Just puts up like a 110 OPS plus every single year, plays pretty good defense out in the outfield, gives you about 20 homers, 20 doubles a season. Like, this is nothing to write home about, but every year of his career, he's been a 2 to 3 win player, which has some value. That's almost more than like all the guys behind him combined put together last year. Now, I'm not saying he's a world beater or anything like that. Yastrzemski, 18 homers, 16 doubles, 57 RBIs, 739 OPS. Like, that's fine, but I think it's good enough where he gets ahead of some of these names that you might be a little more familiar with because of what they've previously done, but Yastrzemski's really consistent. Next up at number 18, I've got Andy Pages of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know he played a little center field last year. Expect him to move to the corner, and I think it'll be better for him. I loved what I saw in 116 games last year. 13 homers, 23 doubles, 46 RBIs. He hit 248 with a 305 on base, 407 slugging, and a 712 OPS for an OPS plus at 102. For a Dodgers lineup that has so much star power, just being able to get more depth in that lineup and being a league average hitter towards the bottom with some good defense and a cannon of an arm is massively important for this Dodgers team, and I loved what he was able to do in the minors. I expect him to get better and better as the year goes on. Out of nowhere, at number 17, Victor Robles of the Seattle Mariners. This dude's career looked like it was close to over. The Nationals got rid of him after an abysmal 14-game stretch to start the season, and truthfully, they might have done it a little too quickly because as soon as he got to Seattle, Robles went off. 77 games, 4 homers, 20 doubles, 26 RBIs, and 30 stolen bases. Like, what? A 328 average, 393 on base, 467 slugging for an OPS at 860, OPS plus at 155. He almost saved the Mariners season. Arguably, their MVP on offense last year. And when you look at his career, he's only 28 years old. The Mariners signed him up for a couple more years with the team option. This might be one of the better sneaky moves the Mariners have made in a long time. If he is a slightly above league average hitter with that defense in the outfield, you're getting some really good stuff out in Seattle. And he showed it last year. Can he repeat it? That's the real question. Right at the halfway point here at number 16, I've got Max Kepler, not currently signed to a team, but I expect him to be a starting right fielder at some point in 2025. While Kepler had a really bad 2024, his 2023 was awesome, and I really think just something was wrong with the Twins last year. Everybody except Carlos Correa was kind of terrible, and I guess Buxton, but those guys were also hurt. Kepler put an OPS plus below 100 at 91 on the season, a slugging percentage under 400, 682 OPS, 8 homers, 21 doubles in 105 games. It was, again, a bizarre year. He wasn't walking nearly as much as he had in the past. I think it was just time for him to move on from Minnesota. He's a dude who previously has been able to give you 20 homers, 20 doubles, 70 RBIs with good outfield defense and an OPS around 800. That's more the player I think Max Kepler truly is. Keeping it kind of in the AL Central here, at number 15, I've got Matt Vierling of the Detroit Tigers. Vierling is like another criminally underrated player. He can play a bunch of positions on the field. Seems like right field's going to be his home at least to start in 2025. 2024 was an awesome season for him. That Tigers trade with the Phillies is looking amazing because of Matt Vierling. 16 homers, 28 doubles, 57 RBIs with 5 triples and 6 stolen bases, a 257 average, 312 on base, 423 slugging for a 735 OPS, OPS plus at 107. The K rate was low. The walk rate was around 7%. And again, that versatility that he provides you, being able to play all the outfield positions, third base, even played some first base last year, played second base in 2023. He's a really good player, and that bat starting to wake up a little bit. He was a 3-win player in 2024. I like Vierling a lot. Moving to the AL East, at number 14, I've got Wilyer Abreu of the Boston Red Sox. Abreu, big riser in today's video, 9 spots, one of the largest jumps in the entire video. He had an awesome rookie season, 132 games, 15 homers, 33 doubles, 58 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, a 253 average, 322 on base, 459 slugging for a 781 OPS, and an OPS plus at 114. He won the Gold Glove, finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting, and truthfully, think he could have been higher. He's an all-around really good player. The Red Sox have this weird problem now where they might have too many outfielders, and Abreu could be on the chopping block if that means getting better pieces somewhere else. But I was thoroughly impressed with what he did. If there's one thing he needs to improve upon, it's facing left-handed pitching. He's pretty much useless against them, but against righties, a really, really good player, and a great glove out there. One of my major breakout star picks for the 2025 season, Matt Wallner of the Minnesota Twins, got him at number 13. Think he could easily be a top 10 guy by the end of the year. Matt Wallner has such crazy power, and he's got an absolute cannon of an arm. He didn't technically qualify for a lot of the MLB percentile rankings last year because he only had 261 plate appearances, but 17% barrel rate, his bat speed's towards the top of the league, his average exit velo is towards the top of the league, his hard hit rate's toward the top of the league. He doesn't chase, he walks nearly 10% of the time, and the guy just hits bombs. He's played 169 games in his career, nice. 29 homers, 31 doubles, 88 RBIs with 6 stolen bases, hitting 251 with a 366 on base, 500 slugging, and 866 OPS for an OPS plus at 139. Yeah, those numbers are disgusting. There's a reason the Twins aren't bringing back Max Kepler. It's because of this guy. Major breakout candidate. Circle it for your fantasy baseball leagues. Watch out for Matt Wallner. Big drop down here to number 12, Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers. Truthfully, could have dropped him a lot more. Last year was a insanely bad year. He was genuinely one of the worst players in baseball at one point. Now, by the end of the year, the numbers did kind of even out more. But Adolis, as good as the last 2 years had been, had a nightmare in 2024 World Series hangover. He basically put up no WAR. 25 homers, 27 doubles, 85 RBIs, 11 stolen bases doesn't sound bad. But then when you hear career lows and batting average and on base percentage and slugging percentage and OPS and an OPS plus at 94, that's a little concerning for a guy who's a bit of a free swinger. He was also atrocious defensively, the worst in all of baseball in right field, negative 12 OAA. Still barrels the ball when he hits it, but he just wasn't doing it enough. I'm not going to go crazy and drop him too far because, again, I'm chalking it up to the World Series hangover, and we know he had a weird injury thing even in the World Series, but couldn't keep him in the top 10 as of right now. And then just missing on the top 10 at number 11, I've got Josh Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Lowe family, low-key talented. Do I have them both ranked at number 11 at each position? That's kind of funny. While 2024 wasn't a great year for Josh Lowe, it was a weird year for Tampa, and he dealt with injuries as well. Only 10 homers and 19 doubles coming off of a great season in 2023. That's why I dropped him down a few spots. 693 OPS for an OPS plus at 98 was not great, but I do love the makeup and the skill set that Josh Lowe has, and I think a fully healthy season, he can do some real damage for the Rays, who kind of need a bat to step up, and I think Josh Lowe will be that guy. Maybe this is a little personal bias because I like him as a player, but it just kind of felt like last year was a wash, and this year could be big for Josh. Oh, damn, that rhymed. Okay. I see you, Mark. Getting the top 10 started at number 10, Lawrence Butler of the Oakland A's. Oh, nope, they're not the Oakland A's anymore. Just the Athletics. Lawrence Butler, whoa, what a year. What a breakout he had. 125 games, 22 homers, 24 doubles, 57 RBIs, 18 stolen bases, a 262 average, 317 on base, 490 slugging, and an 807 OPS for an OPS plus at 131. One of my favorite stats about Lawrence Butler last year is he had 2 different games in which he hit 3 home runs. That's crazy. I will say the stuff, though, feels sticky with him. He is a good hitter. He has good bat speed. He barrels the ball at a really good rate. While defensively, he's just fine, whatever. These are all the makings of someone who could be getting even better next year, and he's a big dude, so I think there's going to be even more power coming at some point. I'm a big Lawrence Butler fan. This guy kind of came out of nowhere and is a bit of a stud. For the 9th best right fielder in today's video, I'm going to go with Anthony Santander. Not currently signed to a team. A lot of people would love him. He's a top 10 right fielder in the game, or at least a really good DH. Last year was a career season for him. Honestly, he's just been good for the last 3 years in general, but he had 44 homers, which was the most for his career, 25 doubles, 102 RBIs, another career high, 235 average, 308 on base. Those don't sound particularly great, but a 506 slugging gave him an OPS at 814 and an OPS plus at 134. He got MVP votes, won a Silver Slugger, was an all-star, and when you hit 40 homers and driving 100, yeah, you're going to find yourself into the top 10. There's just not many people in the entire game of baseball who do that. And he's only 30. Not that old. Would be a good pickup for a lot of teams right now. I'm looking at you, Kansas City Royals. Just one spot ahead of him at number 8. I've got Colton Cowser of the Baltimore Orioles. Cowser's the reason they are not re-signing Santander, so surely he's better, and truthfully, I do believe it, because defensively, Cowser's awesome. He's really, really good. And at the plate, while he cooled off a little bit towards the end of the year, he still had a great rookie season. Shout out to me for buying all his Bowman Chrome cards and selling them during the year. 24 homers, 24 doubles, 3 triples, 69 RBIs, nice, with 9 stolen bases, hitting 242 with a 321 on base, 447 slugging for an OPS at 768, OPS plus at 123. And again, the milkman can play the outfield extremely well. 11 OAA, has a cannon of an arm. Really like the future look for this Orioles team with Colton Cowser in right field. Keeping here with the rookies last year, at number 7 in right field, I've got Jackson Chourio of the Milwaukee Brewers. Chourio is so good. He's so good. I'm going to tell you the numbers. You're not going to be as impressed, but when I tell you the second half, that's where you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's nuts. And oh yeah, he's only 20. He is still 20 at the time of recording this video. He turns 21 on March 11th. He's a baby. 148 games. He played the whole year. 21 homers, 29 doubles, 4 triples, 79 RBIs with 22 stolen bases. He hit 275 225 with a 327 on base, 464 slugging, and a 791 OPS for an OPS plus at 117. And defensively, yeah, he was great. 5.0 AA. Oh, yeah, and he's 97th percentile in sprint speed. So he can hit for power, plays good defense, has a good arm, has good speed, hits for contact. That's what you call a five-tool player at 20 years of age. And then when you look at his splits, second half of the year, because he started the first 85 games with a sub 700 OPS, and then the last 63 games of the year, 310 average, 363 on base, 552 slugging, 914 OPS. Oh my God. We're looking at a possible generational talent in Jackson Chourio if he continues on this trajectory. Just missing on the top 5 at number 6, I've got Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The first half of the season for Corbin was a nightmare. It seemed like that shoulder injury towards the end of 2023 was kind of lingering on to the beginning of the year last season, because there's a very clear point where the season turned around for Corbin Carroll, and it just so happened to be about a year after his injury. Because in the first half of the season, he had a 635 OPS with 5 home runs in 94 games, and then in the second half of the season, in 64 games, he had 17 homers and had a 919 OPS. And that's the Corbin Carroll we're accustomed to, a guy who is going to be an MVP candidate, be leading that Arizona Diamondbacks team along with Ketel Marte, and even still finish with a good year. 22 homers, 22 doubles, 14 triples, 74 RBIs with 35 stolen bases, hitting 231 with a 322 on base, 428 slugging, and a 749 OPS for an OPS plus at 107. Again, it was a tale of two seasons for Corbin Carroll. He was still great defensively all year long. He's still fast. He still does all the things you love. He's awesome. Getting the top 5 started at number 5, I've got Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres. So the weird thing with Tatis is that defensively was not good last year despite being one of the most elite defenders in baseball in 2023. But last year wasn't. Still had a cannon of an arm, but the glove, the OAA, was down a lot. Honestly, I don't care. Look at his offensive numbers, guys. And this was a down year, by the way, for Tatis. Keep that in mind. 102 games, because of course. 21 homers, 21 doubles, 49 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, a 276 average, 340 on base, 492 slugging for an 833 OPS plus at 130. We're looking at a guy for who his career is averaging in 162 games. If he's healthy and plays them all, 40 homers, 35 doubles, 100 RBIs, 30 stolen bases, and a near 900 OPS. I know he's got a ton of haters, but shh. Quiet haters. You're dumb. You're wrong. This dude is awesome. He's amazing. Speaking of amazing, I can't believe I'm even dropping him down one spot, but you'll find out why once we get towards the end. At number 4, Kyle Tucker now of the Chicago Cubs. I'm not quite sure how Wrigley will affect Kyle Tucker's play because Houston was one of the more hitter-friendly parks, but still, these numbers are going to play anywhere. Last year, in only 78 games, he was nearly a 5-win player in terms of WAR. 23 homers, 13 doubles, 49 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases, hitting 289 with a 408 on base. Like, oh my God. 585 slugging. Oh my God. 993 OPS for an OPS plus at 181. He was on an MVP track. And if you look at his last 4 years, you're looking at a guy, including a 78-game season, who's averaging 28 to 30 home runs a year, 30 plus doubles, 100 RBIs, and an OPS around 900. Disgusting. So good. Cubs really need to make sure they extend this guy. Dropping down 2 spots at number 3, I've got Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. The reason I have him dropping down is because unfortunately Ronald Acuna did tear his ACL again. And we know that coming off the ACL injury, it takes a little bit of time. It took him basically a full season of play after recovery to get back to that amazing status he once was, which we saw in 2023, where he had one of the best seasons of all time. Last year, he got hurt early. The season wasn't going well to begin with. 4 homers, 8 doubles, 15 RBIs, and 16 stolen bases, a 716 OPS plus at 101, like easily the worst stretch of his career. And again, the drop isn't necessarily because I don't think he's as good as he once was. It's the guys above him just honestly blew by him last year, and that's not really even fair because they had unbelievable seasons. Because just missing out at number 1, at number 2, I've got New York Mets right fielder Juan Soto, which still doesn't even feel real to me to say. Juan Soto's the Mets right fielder. Oh my God. It took every bone in my body to not put him at number 1, but try not to be as biased. But also, let's go Mets. Last year with the Yankees, I mean, he would have won the MVP possibly if it wasn't for Aaron Judge and then Bobby Witt. He had an MVP season. 41 homers, career high, 31 doubles, 109 RBIs. He walked 10 more times than he struck out. Yes, 129 walks to 119 strikeouts, a 288 average, 419 on base. My God, 569 slugging, nice, and a 989 OPS for an OPS plus at 178. Man, but Juan Soto's defense, oh, it's so bad. He's going to be a DH. Don't care. $700 million man, going to be an $800 million man by the end of that contract. When you hit like Juan Soto does, he can do whatever the hell he wants in right field. Literally, do not care. second best right fielder in the game. Because, of course, coming in at number 1, moving back to right field, you've got Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. Now, while Aaron Judge disappears when the lights are brightest, and Juan Soto stepped up and carried that Yankees team last postseason, I can't deny how good Aaron Judge is during the regular season. I mean, last year, that was a better year than when he hit 62 home runs, right? I think we can agree to that. 158 games, 58 homers, 36 doubles, 144 RBIs. This is like, honestly, reading these numbers out loud is shocking. 133 walks, 322 average, 458 on base, 701 slugging, 7 for an OPS at 1159 and an OPS plus at 223. By the way, that is 13 points higher than the 62 home run season. Yeah, he won the MVP, Silver Slugger All-Star. He's the best right fielder in baseball. That's where he belongs. Get him out of center field. Cody Bellinger will be there now. Judge will go back to right field, play Gold Glove defense, hit 60 home runs. I mean, he might even be the best player in baseball. We're going to have to wait and see for those top 50 rankings. So there they are, my rankings for right fielders for the 2025 season. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Do you like this amazing Juan Soto Cherry Blossom City Connect jersey? I can rock it now. Juan Soto's a bet. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the rest of the 12 days of MLB rankings. And drop a like on the video too. Why not? Help me out and help out this video. Otherwise, that's it. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all tomorrow on the DH rankings. Peace out.